Every small business has a story of late nights, big dreams, and bold leaps of faith. I'm Juan Moore, and in this series, I'm sitting down with the people behind the hustle to hear what sparked their journey, what keeps them going, and what they've learned along the way. This is my story. Real people, real business, real inspiration. Today, we're joined by Jack. Jack, tell us about yourself and what you do.
Hello, my name's Jack. I am the founder of Vandango Campervans, a luxury campervan hire company based here on the lovely sunny Isle of Man.
Can you describe what your role is in the business in one sentence?
I am the life support of the business.
Fair enough. Still early doors.
Oh yeah, so early doors, which means I am doing everything at the minute, from content creation to admin to taking bookings to doing the handovers to doing the collections to everything to cleaning. Yeah, the life support of Vandango. Well, Lydia helps me, which is nice, but yeah,
Cleaning lady.
she's more than a cleaning lady. She will not be happy with that. No, she's working her way up.
Nice.
She says she's the skivvy. I say, you are. So, yeah, no, but right now it is a two-man band, obviously with the help of you with a lot of the social media stuff. But for the most part, it does feel like I'm, everything. If I wasn't doing it, obviously there'll be no Vandango. So I think that's the most part with most founders is at the start you do everything. So
No, I agree, yeah. A man of many hats. And then you eventually just learn to offload tasks.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Good. And obviously a main portion of this video is at 3 different locations. Are there any kind of standout locations that you think might surprise people?
No, I don't think there's going to be any surprises.
Nice.
Do you want me to tell them where they are?
You can do, yeah. Yeah.
So my 3 locations, which I think are most relevant to my business and the operations of it, are 1, of course, the campervan. Number 2 is Noah's Market Hall, the working cafe, Santander working cafe. And then the third location, I've got 2 options that I'm thinking. No. The third location is going to be just out and about, taking a walk on the hills or a walk by the coastline. I'm not quite sure which yet, but yeah, just out walking, because that's where I like to spend my downtime and time away from working on the computer or sorting out the van.
Nice.
Yeah, they're my 3.
Well,
Could have got you cleaning the van, which I should have done because the van's out tomorrow. I should have made the most of a
no,
spare set of hands here.
you don't get free labour from me. This is your first location, so tell us about where we are and why we're here.
Where we are is the Santander Working Cafe here on the Isle of Man. Market Hall. Noah's, why we're here. Why are we here? So the reason we've come down to Market Hall is because it's one of my go-to places to come when I've got work for Vandango.
Yeah.
If I know I need to get a video done, I need to get some social media stuff posted, or I've got admin stuff, it's where I like to come down to and spend a bit of time on the laptop, set up on one of the desks and crack on with some work for a couple of hours. It's really good for it. You get a brilliant coffee.
You do? Yeah.
You get food. You get fed, watered.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for? And it's just a nice space because it can feel quite lonely when you're working away at your desk on your own. So it's almost nice to come down. I mean, not that I speak to many of the people here. As soon as I get here, the noise cancelled headphones go on. But it's just like, you kind of almost get an office feel to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you do speak briefly to people, and yeah, I just guess it's nice being around other humans working.
What's been the biggest challenge you've faced in starting a company?
I think the most challenging thing was just committing to my actual idea. The initial jump to actually say, yeah, this could actually work. And for me, that was at the point where I left my full-time job, albeit I did go back for the Christmas period this year. However, there was a reason for that. But that initial commitment of setting up, launching the business, I think I had conversations with you and you were like, I was like, oh, should I launch a social media? You're just like, just do it. Why wouldn't you? And I was like, yeah, fair enough. Just sent it. And then here we are. And I think that's it. It's the initial jump for me was the biggest challenge.
And what would you say your biggest win so far is? What's been that standout moment?
Standout moment is recently, end of March, I had my 1-year anniversary since my first hire out. Yeah, 29th of March was 1 year on since our first hire out in the Vandango camper. And I think looking back at it, seeing all the photos of people out in the camper van, all the feedback that we had and stuff like that. And I mean, we've had 15 5-star reviews on Google now, and then we've had Facebook reviews, and then, yeah, all the good things. It's just quite nice to see after putting in a year of, I would say, hard work. It's been tough, but it was rewarding seeing that. And I think that's my first real hurrah moment. I mean, obviously getting the first hire out was great. It was like, cool, this is fantastic. But that 1 year on, seeing all the great photos and feedback and things, and it's just like, yeah, it's a bit of a pat on the back, you would say.
Yeah, no, it's good to see. Good to see the progress you've made within that year. You have, like I said, going from that first booking to where you are now. That's really great to see.
Absolutely, thank you.
What's next?
What's next?
Yeah, now that you've big ideas on the horizon, or
we've always got big ideas on the horizon. There's a couple of things going on. So at the start of this year, I started to build out a bit of a personal brand, which you can follow along to at Jack of Adventures. But also, I've recently been down to look at a unit down the south of the island, down Balthane, with the idea of expanding the Vandango fleet. So we hope to have a second van at some point this year. And that second van, we hope we convert ourselves.
Nice.
We hope to do conversion in-house this time, as opposed to with the last one, we shopped around online and we found a pre-converted van. It was actually, I bought it privately, so it was a van that was converted by someone else. So I really had no say, albeit it's got to be one of the best vans on the market in terms of aesthetics. It looks fantastic. It is nailed on. But yeah, this next one, I want to be involved in the conversion, as I think that's the route that I want to go down. I want to be campervan hires as well as conversions, so we can offer the full shebang.
Yeah.
Whether it be under the same umbrella as Vandango, well, it will be. It'll be one big family, but I don't know whether my idea with Vandango, the name and things, it was like Vandango. It's like,
yeah,
I suppose people would be. So yeah, plenty on the horizon from all different angles. But yeah, just got to keep working away, building what I've started, and yeah, taking steps in the right direction.
Yeah, nice. Well, I suppose now that we've talked about what's going ahead, do you want to talk about what led you to Vandango and maybe some of the business eyes that didn't get the green light?
Where it all
started.
So I think for a very long time, while at work and things, I've always known that you'll know, we work together.
Yeah.
And you'll know one thing that I said is, I want to do my own thing. I don't want to progress. I was quite happy where I was. I was stacking my catch with the intention of setting up on my own. And I think that's something that I've always wanted to do. But yeah, for me, finding what that was, well, you come up with all these ideas, the things that you think are going to go ahead, and there's just reasons why they don't. And for me, Vandango, I guess, started initially with the idea of, when we went on one of our expeditions to go and climb Snowdon in Wales,
yeah,
2021, we stayed in a little lodge called the Summit Lodge. And I thought to myself, whatever, we paid however much, 400 quid or something for the 3 nights that we were there. And I thought, this is brilliant, this. A cool little lodge to allow people to go off and do their outdoor expeditions and things like that. And I was thinking, and then the following year I stayed in a shepherd's hut in Ireland, and I was like, this is fantastic. These little outdoor spaces that enhance people's outdoor activities. And from that point on, it was like, how can I do something like that off my own? And initially it was running with a similar sort of setup. But I just thought, with the effort that goes into planning for mission, building a hut or a yurt of some sort for campsite ground, there would be a lot of effort that went into it. And yeah, and then it just came to me. I was sat there looking at doing the NC 500, the route around Scotland. And I was like looking at these camper van hires, and I was like, why not get my own one and start hiring it out? And that'd be the first step. And yeah, that was really where it came from. I should say my uncle's got a camper van, so I guess there's always been a little... Yeah, I've seen his and I thought they're pretty cool. And then it wasn't until that trip to Scotland that I really wanted to do, and it was like, well, how do I get involved in this? So that's where Vandango was born. The idea was born. The first idea I had, the initial one, was with a friend, and it was a food vendor truck that I wanted to do. I thought it was a great idea. I was convinced I could make the best Smashburgers on the island, as well as the best burritos. No doubt I probably could. However, it wasn't meant to be because there was too much that I didn't have the knowledge on. I never worked in hospitality. I think I would have done a great job, but I just thought, why not do something that's going to enhance the things that I enjoy and be more relevant to what I like? Belongs to the streets. BTTS would have been the best food truck around.
I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. Unless later down the line, once I've got my campervan car, belongs to the street, rocks up, and the food truck. I think I quite like the idea with the food truck as well. Would have been designing the whole food truck itself.
Yeah.
Maybe once I got up and running, I wouldn't have enjoyed the food side of it. But we'll never know. I watched the TV show last night about the TV show. A program last night about a guy converting Airstreams.
Right.
And I remember when I was looking at the food truck, it was looking at Airstreams and things like that. So maybe there's a business.
Destiny.
Maybe. They fizzle out almost. I mean, we went through the micro grant scheme here on the island, and we did the first steps, and it kind of just fizzled out. The idea, I was going in with a friend as well, so you're always relying on 50-50 work, and yeah, I mean, it's probably for the best because I'm doing something that is more relatable to the things I enjoy anyway.
That's it. Yeah. Good. So then, speaking about things you enjoy, so outside of outdoor adventures, what else do you get up to switch off from the grind that can be founding a company?
I always find myself doing bits and bobs on the sort of stuff, like things I do to switch off. I mean, I go on holiday in the van, so I'm always kind of,
You're always working.
Yeah, so like, even when me and Lydia go away, I'm always recording videos, and it's always the phone's out, and it's like, so it's never fully switched off. I mean, at home, I'll go to the gym in the morning, and then I'll play squash of an evening.
Am I right in saying you're ranked 95 on the island in squash?
I'm one of the worst squash players on the island, yes. I've got, whenever the island games is on the island, I've got that many years to get to the number 1 ranked, so follow the journey. What was it, 98?
95, I think it is.
95 ranked. This season is going to be a much better season for me.
Okay.
Because I'm going to put the effort in.
Okay.
I'm putting the effort in, I'm practicing this time. See, I found a lot of my time in the last couple of years, I was just turning up to the matches and then I wasn't practicing. This year's going to be different. So I'm going to put the last 2.5 years behind me, and I'm going to work up the ranks.
Heard it here first.
I will be at the island games. On the island. Harvey, you better put in the effort to train me. Okay, zoom in on this one. You better put in the effort to get me at number 1. Olympics 2028.
Wow.
LA, I want to be there.
Big dreams.
Not quite that far. Well, maybe, we'll see.
And you've been through some tough adventures as well, haven't you? So you did the Parish walk on the Alaman.
Parish walk.
Yeah.
That was a good year.
It was.
The year of the Parish walk was also the year that we did Kilimanjaro.
It was another big adventure, which was itself quite difficult.
Yeah. And I think that's where really that year, as well as the year before, is where I really kindled a relationship with the outdoors, kind of. It was like, I just got back from uni. I had a bit of a I didn't have a failed year. I had a failed year in the sense there was COVID and things like that. And it was like, it wasn't until I was back on the island and I realized that maybe all this outdoorsy stuff is what I really enjoy. And don't get me wrong, the uni degree that I was on was ACE, doing AI and robotics, something that I took interest in. And I did really well. I flew through my first year, and it wasn't until the second year, it was like COVID, I was going in and out of lockdowns and things like that. And I just said to them, I was like, look, I don't want to come back to be locked in my room the whole time, pretty much. And then they came back and they were like, look, we're going to do in-person classes. You need to come back. You can't do it from home this year. So I said, I'm going to defer for a year. And then funny enough, a month in, all the in-person classes stopped and everyone went back home anyway. And I could have just continued. But at that point, I realized that maybe the uni degree wasn't for me. And yeah, we kind of found a different venture as such and got to the outdoors and started building companies and things, or founding
companies. We like it.
So yeah. So I went off a tandem then, wasn't it? we were talking about the Parish Walk.
Nah, you're good. It's circled quite well.
Parish Walk, 20 hours and 35 minutes, I believe it was.
36 minutes and 3 seconds.
There we go. Clip it off that. I've recorded that on my YouTube channel once when it was previously Jack Evans Outdoors, so give it a watch.
Okay, welcome back. We're in a new location.
Location number 2.
Indeed. Do you want to tell us where we are and why we're here?
This location makes the most sense for the Vandango campervan.
Absolutely.
Being in the Vandango camper.
Quite spacious.
Quite spacious. It is. It's nice, and it's the main operations of the company, so it makes sense to do
Absolutely.
a scene in here.
Yeah,
A scene.
a scene. What would you say is your ideal customer for the Vandango?
My ideal customer for the Vandango is someone who is up for a bit of an adventure, someone that's looking for a holiday or a trip or just some time away that's a little bit different from the norm. Someone who maybe wants to explore travel at their own pace. They don't want to be tied to doing set excursion times. They don't want to be told that they need to be here at this time. And yeah, they just want the freedom. They almost want to be someone who is a bit up for the unknown, I guess, because you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
A bit of an open mind, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree. It's a great way to see places in a new light. You always get to experience it like a local, because you can just rock up where, not necessarily into the big touristy locations, but just rock around different places.
Yeah. You see the off the touristy paths.
Exactly.
Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, a coach tour will only get you so far.
That's it. And you've got all those people that you don't know.
Yeah, all them strangers. Yeah. It's a nice way to do it. Every trip that I've been on in the van, I've absolutely loved, and I just want to do more. And that's the uniqueness of campervans and van life. Is you feel a bit in touch with the places you go, and you just see some really awesome places.
Yeah. Hard to let go sometimes when you wanted to do a holiday yourself and someone's booked it.
Yeah, if someone gets booked on a trip away and it's like, a bit jealous that you're doing that. I'd quite like myself to be off up in Scotland again, or travelling around Europe or anything like that.
What would you say is your favourite place to stay on the island in your Vandango?
Laxey, 100%. Laxey is my favourite place, and it's so close to home. It feels like, why not somewhere a bit further away? But Laxey's ace. It's got it all. I love the campsite down Laxey. I love the wild camping options that I've got. So we stay on the front a lot, so down on the promenade.
Yeah.
It's probably my number one spot in the van. And then the likes of Axonfell and stuff like that. There's just many options in Laxey. So Laxey is definitely my favourite. And then you've got one-off spots like the Point of Air, which is one that I recommend to everyone when they come over and stay in the van.
We are at our third location.
We are.
So tell us where we are and why we're here.
Okay, we've come along to Groudle here on the island.
Why have we come to Groudle, Glen?
We've come along to Groudle because not so much this specific location, but I think to me, I find it very important to spend some time outside, whether that be walking just in a glen or up on the hills or around the coastline, or paddleboarding's another one I refer a lot to, or even if it's just going for a coffee out in the van, just somewhere outside. I think it's very important to spend some time away from the desk or working whatever I've been working on, just taking myself away from it. So I think that's why I enjoy getting out and about so much. And this one is, I walk through here all the time with the dogs, so it's quite a nice spot for us to come along to.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's always important to get time out in the outdoors, because you're right, we spend a lot of time staring at screens and it can be draining.
Yeah.
So getting outside, having a reset, it's good for you.
Yeah, definitely. Some time away can help massively, and it definitely helps with productivity when I go back to being sat on my computer. So yeah, I try and make it a daily occurrence to go and take some time away, and yeah, this is one of the go-tos.
Nice. Yeah. It's a nice little spot.
It's a great little spot.
It's
It's been seen before.
It has, yeah. Okay, are we ready? We'll crack on with the quick fire round.
Quick fire round, let's do it.
See if you can waffle through some of these.
How quick I can waffle through.
How would you describe your business in 3 words? Really quick.
I can't. 3 words.
Yeah.
Outdoorsy. Unique. Can't think of another one. Outdoorsy and unique. That's all. That's all I
Cool.
think of.
Fair enough.
What
Outdoors unique. You let us know what the 3rd one should be.
If there is a 3rd one, there might not be a 3rd one to explain Vandango.
Let us know if you come back to it.
Okay.
If Vandango had a theme song, what would it be?
I was just thinking I'm going to start singing right now. There was something in the air that night. The stars so bright. Vandango.
Nice.
Good. That's where the name came from, by the way. I was lying there in bed. And it came to me. It was like, Fandango, 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 Vandango works perfectly. And then I had to listen to the song.
There you go. Bit of ABBA for you.
Abaraz.
What's the one thing you can't live without during the workday?
One thing, probably my phone.
Yeah.
No phone, no social media posts, no nothing, no ideas going in, no footage recorded, no platform to post on. Yeah, my phone. That's such a boring answer. Oh, I can't live without my coffee, or I can't live out with my morning ritual, or no, yeah, it's just my phone. It's just a dead boring answer.
Well, I feel like they're all pretty boring nowadays.
They are.
No one has unique ones.
No one does have unique ones.
Maybe the next guest will.
Boo! This guest sucks.
Who would you like to see you in the future play you in your movie about your life?
No idea. Don't watch films.
No big name actors you'd love to see? Meryl Streep playing you?
Well, it'd have to be super muscly, so there's only one I can think of. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Nice. Who would you like to see as a guest on the next story video?
I can think of many of the people that I would like to see talk about their story. Some of mine that are more close to home, I would like to see my uncle James and then my auntie Fiona, as I think they were a heavy inspiration on me when I was setting up, and I would always go for them for advice. Uncle is a book writer, auntie is a crafts lady. So I think it would be great to see and hear their stories.
Where can people find you?
Where can people find me? Where people can find all the Vandango stuff on, I think it's all social medias, Vandango Rental. That's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. That's it, isn't it? Yes, that's it. They're the 4 social medias we're on. We've got a website, www.vandango.co.uk, where you can see all the details and you can book on there. That's it.
How about your personal ones? Give them a shout out.
I'm allowed to talk about that.
Give them a shout out. Why not?
Jack Evans Ventures. Jack Evans Ventures.
Nice.
On all socials. So yeah, give us a follow along. See what's happening. You'll hear more about the conversion side. Very exciting. And then yeah, as we expand the Vandango fleet, and yeah, continue building what we've started. Hopefully another successful year to come.
Nice.
5 years to come. Nationwide takeover across the whole of the UK. Vandango fans, the next van, I'm definitely getting some sort of wrap on it.
Nice.
Because I think that would be sweet.
Yeah, make it stand out.
Make it stand out, make it unique, and just so as it's driving around, people can see it and go, damn, it's a nice Vandango.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Any final thoughts?
I wish I could tell you I've thought of a 3rd one, but I haven't.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Juan.
And thank you for watching.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my waffling.
I'm sure we have. It's all going to get cut out. See you next time.
Bye. I'm thinking of a third one.
They call it booty, this is.